Okay, good afternoon, folks. Hope everyone is well. It is the 20th of June. Hope everyone had a good day off yesterday. I did a little trade, actually, or a couple of little trades just for a little bit during the afternoon. I came back and had a look. And I think I took 3 trades, actually. I won one, won another, and then lost it, I think. So it was very slow yesterday, but I actually traded on the lower, in fact. On the 1,000 tick chart, yeah, I should be on the 2,000. Okay, still looks the same. So let's just keep an eye on this, see how we get on today. So market is due to open in just over a minute. As I say, I did take a couple of trades yesterday. So hopefully we have a decent day. Did I reload? I think I did, didn't I? Yeah, okay. So, okay, I wonder where that was. So we're fitting quite nice down there, so hopefully we get 2 legs up here. We may capture a move down, hopefully. So, hope everyone had a good day off yesterday. Or I think some people traded. I came back just for a little bit, but it's very slow. I ended up trading the 1,000 tick chart on this. I think I did something on the CL. I can't remember what it was now, but I think I took a trade on the CL and won. And then I took a trade on the NQ and lost a bit on the ES, I think, if I remember rightly. But it was just slow yesterday. Look. Yeah, in fact, I took something off here, actually. And it went, when it came back, I can't remember what I did, actually. It got slow. I can't remember, to be fair, but 2 legs back in a nice push-up. So that actually worked really well. So, in fact, the volume wasn't that bad, actually. Originally, it was slow, but it did pick up. But it was pretty much just sideways. Okay, so market is open. There was nothing there, really. Just a first entry. I was hoping we were going to get a couple of legs up, maybe a triple test or something, but it never happened. So I'm guessing we're probably going to come down and test these lows. But we had that big push up sideways, so I wouldn't be shocked if we had like a leg and a leg. I wouldn't be shocked. I might have to nip off just for a couple of minutes here and there. We've still got these guys here fitting the. We got a sort of new water heater, which has been fitted. They're just finishing up now. So I might have just to nip off for a couple of minutes, but I will let you know first. So this thing is going down at the moment. NQ is going down, but we have, to be honest with you, been hitting all-time highs again and again and again. And then we had that another big push up yesterday and took it even higher. So this market just seems to be booming at the moment. So whether we're going to have a range day again, I don't know. Let's have a look. Could be something like that. Let's just put that there for now. But we do seem to be touching something up here that's turned us. Speedy, how you doing, my friend? So yeah, it more likely just a range, I think, just at the moment. Did you take any trades yesterday, bud? I just came back for about half an hour, 40 minutes, and just had a look. But it was pretty slow, to be honest with you. So I think what you can do is, obviously what I did is just reduce it to 1,000 tick or 500 tick, and obviously it gives you No, to be honest with you, we had the guys fitting the water, so we spent most of the time in the bedroom. They were constantly in and out all the time, and they kept the dogs up here. So I just sat and watched it. Yeah, it was low, yeah, but yeah, I think I ended up $50 up. I think I took 3 trades actually on different things. I have tried the CL as well, but low volume as well. Yeah, I think the only thing you can do, mate, is what I did is went from 2,000 to 1,000, and it effectively doubles the amount of bars. So obviously the more bars, the more, you have 1 bar, you don't know what it's doing. You have 1,000 bars, obviously it spells a picture, doesn't it? So but yeah, low volume today. Yeah, it is low, isn't it? Because we're coming down, and usually the volume's a bit lower when we're going sideways because a lot of people are staying out. But I don't know. Do people see? Obviously, you US guys know a little bit more about the US holidays. Do people tend to? Where are we? Take Thursday off and then the Friday off, turning it into a long weekend. When I was sort of back in the day that workers, I would probably do that sometimes if you've got like a holiday and then the weekend, maybe just, otherwise you're having Thursday off, coming back into Friday and having Saturday, Sunday off. So it may be a bit low because of that. A few people extra maybe taking the time off. I know in the UK at the moment, it's baking here. It's lovely. Well, I say baking, maybe not compared to some places, but I think it's about 23 degrees, 24 degrees here, but there's no wind. And it's beautiful outside at the moment. But yeah, it is a little bit low, isn't it? Just looking at this CL, we had this channel up here with a break and then a really strong push right up above that EMA. Yeah. It's a newer holiday for the Juneteenth. Juneteenth, is that how you say it? But yeah, I know sort of in the UK sometimes when we get a bank holiday, we take an extra day. If we got a bank holiday on the Friday, some people just take the Monday off and it just turns into a long weekend. You can get away for a couple of days then. But I suppose if you've got the Thursday off, some will take the Friday off and then you've got 4 days in a row. So it might be why it's a little bit low. I mean, we did roll over a couple of days ago, whether that makes a difference. But I think most people are over by now. So, yeah, it is a bit low. It may pick up. In fact, I was surprised, in all fairness, how much volume there actually was yesterday. It wasn't terrible, but there was volume. I mean, if you look at that, it's sideways, but it is volume. But obviously, the overnights, I looked, it was about here. There wasn't a lot, but then it did actually move. So, but as you say, if it's a newer holiday, maybe the retail traders like us may still have a go. I don't know. Some people just can't stay away from the charts. It's just because I was stuck in the room with the dogs yesterday because we had the workmen in, which is why I just had a look at it. So what we got here? Touch. Drag that down just a fraction. Looks pretty good. Looks like it fits okay with a break. Still room down to this bottom. It's hard to say. Sometimes I don't trust these types of moves because what you can do is squeeze that bar a little tighter to there and to there, and so we've had a small break. So there is a possibility of a small break. Does that look any better? Well, is it or is it? I know sometimes Mac will say there may be a small overshoot, but he doesn't believe it is. So how do you know? Is it the smaller is the less likely? 4th of July, ring on Thursday. The shield probably run Wednesday. Friday trading, yeah. It's a bit more of a holiday for you guys, that isn't it? 4th of July. Wow. Okay, so there is a second entry short on the NQ. I've just noticed submitted. That. Oh, don't do that to me now. Don't give me an orange order. Oh, not another one.
Order filled.
Second entry short. Not a big risk. I've only got this on one contract, so might not be terrible, but I think this is probably likely to come down, so hopefully that'll be okay. We'll see how we get on anyway. Oh, that's going to take me out of that, isn't it? Or is it? Oh, might just get that an extra tick. I think I already have that actually.
Stop filled.
Okay, well, that surprised me. Touch. I'm only trading this on one contract anyway, so I'm not terribly shocked, terribly bothered. 2 legs up. Okay, that wasn't to be. I actually thought that was okay. Leg and a leg. It was a second entry short. Depends whether... The thing is, I've gone from the top to here. That's the first swing. And all of a sudden, we got the same there, if you look. Touch, and it's working along the back. I'm surprised that didn't work, to be honest. Okay, this is a bit messy here. A little bit of an overshoot with a new high. I have to keep an eye on this. I've already got trapped short once. I'm surprised that didn't work, actually. I really am. So I would say that is more likely in. So see what happens. Well, what I will say with this is we're tight here. We're coming away a little bit and a little bit. So that may have caused a break. To keep an eye on it. I'm only trading one contract and one account on this anyway, so it's more really to just to get a feel for it. I wonder if that's like a leg and a leg and this is just a break and this is going to come down, see if we can get below there. Got to be careful. I don't like this. It's a bit messy. Little channel with a break and a new high. It could push up above that. I wouldn't be shocked if it did, actually. There's probably going to be some stops above there. Okay, so it has got above there. Yeah, it looked a bit messy there. It made sense as well with what happened with the NQ, so... See if we can get a triple test here. And then hopefully back down. I still think this is likely to break these lows. Not what I'm seeing here. Well, I don't know. I got it here, so I got right from the first touch to the next swing, which was here, fitted perfectly, fitted nice there, and came down and fitted there. So I actually kind of like that, how it fits. But I don't know, it depends how you've got it drawn, really. I can't really take that any further past there, so normally you go with those first 2 swings, and it kind of visually looks okay. Spike and... well, I don't know. It's a tough one. I don't know, to be honest with you. Start for your second swing. What, there? Pretty much where it is now, though, isn't it? What about there? If you go there, I suppose you could bring it down there. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it kind of looks alright, that. I think you might be right. I mean, this thing looks like it's going off anyway, doesn't it? To be honest with you. So perhaps that has had a break. If I keep it tight to there and there, you could say there's a small break there actually, so maybe there is. That's the trouble if you don't get your chart right. That's why I'm kind of only trading this NQ with just one account and one contract, just to get a bit of a feel for it. Hey Rodian, how you doing, my friend? How you doing? You're in Brazil, are you? You lucky devil. Practically in the same time zone now. Brazil. Time zone, yes, but well, no, Brazil's south, isn't it? No, we're still, well, we're closer, put it that way, closer than you usually are. Brazil, it's like South America, isn't it? So I'd say, well, it's got to be 5 or 6 hours behind the UK, isn't it? But it's certainly what you normally are, for sure. Yeah, 3 to 4 hours apart. I can't think off the top of my head. I know, sort of the West Coast, sort of the US is 5 hours, and obviously the East Coast is 8 hours. So it depends where in line of that is. It sort of south and then it's south and then southeast? I can't think off the top of my head. I can't think. My geography isn't up to much, to be honest with you. Let's have a little look here. Southwest. You're an hour ahead of New York. Okay, so that you'll be about 4 hours then, yeah. So yeah, 4 hours. Yep, that's a bit closer, isn't it? So what is it, about 9:45 in the morning, isn't it? About right? Somewhere about right. So what are you doing in Brazil? Are you holidaying or work or what? Are you visiting the in-laws? I got you. My sympathies. If they're anything like my in-laws. They're not too bad, actually. My mother-in-law could literally talk the hind legs off a donkey. I'm not kidding. I suppose it's warm there, is it? It's got to be, I think. Is this thing going to continue on up? I'm not sure what I'm looking at here, whether this is an overshoot. So we've had a couple of legs up on that NQ. Are we going to get higher? It's hard to say, isn't it, really? 2026. That's not too bad, is it? Yeah, that's all right. That's not a bad temperature. That's not a bad temperature. That cripples us in the UK. That does. No, it's not too bad. Now I think we had our hottest ever temperature. I think it was summer before last. We got up to 42 degrees centigrade, which is pretty warm. And that's the hottest we've ever had it. Kind of a triple test there, but I hate going short in an uptrend, whether we got two legs. And to be honest with you, I mean, look at that, the way that second leg, you think there's a chance we're going to come down, but we could come down and continue on higher. So can't go short there, I'm afraid. 42 degrees and your missus was pregnant. Oof, grief. That was, yeah. I mean, we have a pool in the garden. It sounds a bit extravagant, but it's just one of those 12-foot round sort of steel frame Intex pools. They're not expensive, but we bought one of those decent sort of Intex sand filters. And we keep it up for about 4 months of the year. We got a cover for it and all that, and it's amazing. You know what it's like. You can put up with any amount of temperature, can't you? As long as you can, it's a pool and cool yourself down. But I think that summer if I couldn't sleep, because there's a rule, you don't really have air conditioning in the UK. Houses don't. Shops and restaurants and bars, they tend to, and obviously cars. But I think I spent a lot of the summer at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning in the pool. In fact, I was there in the middle of a thunderstorm once, and my wife stuck her out the window and told me I was a maniac. And do I want to get electrocuted? But it is nice to have a dip, actually, I've got to say. Just cools you down a bit, doesn't it? But yeah. The thing is, I'm actually declaring myself as officially a business in a month, as a trader, officially a business. So what I can do is just buy one of those little portable units and put it through a business expense. You know, I work from home as an office. You're entitled to have air conditioning. So that's what I'll be doing. It's a tough one, this, isn't it? You haven't used it since. And I haven't used it since. They're just quite pricey to use. I mean, the electric's expensive over here, but I don't know. You don't want to have it all the time, are you? I put up with the heat in the day, it doesn't bother me. But at night, there's nothing worse than not being able to sleep when you're hot and sticky. It's horrible. But when we go abroad, we have hotels. We have aircon in hotels, and my wife's always moaning it dries her eyes out and stuff like that. But has anybody heard about the new discount, by the way? I'll explain to you if you don't know what it is. What they've done, they've got 80% on your normal offers, like your 25, your 50, your 75 and 105. And for the 150, 250 and 300, you can take an evaluation for $40 and pay a lifetime fee of $85. They're clearly targeting people to go for the... I wonder why they're doing that, targeting people. Are they trying to get people to have to trade longer before they withdraw? I don't know. I suppose technically, you know, a lot of people who get PAs are going to blow accounts. You got more chance of blowing the account. You got more chance of blowing the account on a larger account, because you've obviously got to go for a lot more, haven't you, before you can withdraw. So whether they're targeting people like that, targeting a new low. I wonder if there is something larger there, maybe. I don't know, who knows. Leg down. That's kind of a correction, isn't it? Maybe we are. That looks like a correction. Oh shit. Sorry about that, if you can hear that. Fire alarm. It's alright, they're just testing stuff. So, yeah, leg and a leg, isn't it? Got a couple of legs up. This is a fun eval. What you on, bud? I mean, they have got the benefits, the larger ones. You have got a lot more of a drawdown, and if you used to trade them like me and just go crazy, it's a better thing. And I think they're pretty reasonable for $40. But what I like about them, if anything, is the $85 lifetime fee. Because I'm pretty sure the $300,000 lifetime fee is normally 300 odd quid, isn't it, or 300 odd dollars, which is massive, really. Imagine paying for 20 of them. I don't fancy coughing up $6,000 to get 20 accounts. Do you know something? I'm not sure whether this is a channel or whether this is something where we've had a push up and a break and a new high just. Yeah, not sure about that. There's a new high. Kind of, I wonder if they're trapping some longs there. It's hard to say, really. Is a big draw, yeah, it is. I suppose the one thing is unlike the 50k one, you can take a payment at $2,600, but you're only left with effectively $50, $500, which most cases you're probably going to blow, because just that psychological dump of the amount, you're probably going to blow. So whereas I think is it the 250 one they had the offer on last month? You got, excuse me a sec. Okay, excuse me just a couple of minutes. Sorry about that. Okay, let's have a look here. Possible second entry short, but we have had a break of this, so it could go up. It's been hard to say, really, isn't it? You gotta wait for the failure. Trouble is, we have got this channel. We could have two legs back, and it could push up to here. It's hard to say at the moment. We haven't really had enough volume to sort of work out what's going on. All I can really see at the moment is we seem to be just really ranging. So big bearish bar there. That's coming down by the looks of things, isn't it? So that's pushed strongly. So if we can get maybe a little bit of a pullback there.
Order submitted.
A lower high there. Come on up. So it's a second entry short there. Could take this on a limit order.
Order filled.
Okay, I'm going to take this on a limit order. Leg down, hopefully. ES is below the EMA. I'd say that's a pretty strong position. Not a terrible risk. Guys are finished now anyway, so I haven't got to go off anywhere. So that's good. Yeah, this is significantly lower than that EMA to me be concerned with going up. So I'd say for me, this is coming down. We're clearly doing this, so. Maybe some longs trapped in there. Second entry short. Come on.
Order submitted. Order filled. Target filled.
Beautiful. Okay, I like that. I could have held on a little bit longer, but could see what was happening. I like that one as well when we got that second one, so happy days. Are we going to get a second entry here or not? So we had a break in a new high, so for some reason I can't get this plot on here with this. I don't know why, so I'm going to have to work out. I still haven't got my head around this point system, but I think I was down about 110 there, so I'm up a bit anyway. So I had a win. What did I have? A win, a loss, and a win. I can't remember there. Or a loss and a win or something. But I took that one on a limit order when it came back, and when that broke above there, I took that. I meant to take it on an engulfing, but I got it at the close anyway, and it clearly came down, did what it was supposed to do. So. But it is looking like it's trying to retest these. Whether it gets all, sometimes it doesn't get all the way down. It'll bounce a couple of times here and then off in that direction. But See, if we've got a channel like that, that looks like an overshoot. And if it is, we've made a couple of attempts. This may push down. There is a possible second entry short there, but if that comes down any more, that is too far from the EMA for me. Maybe we get another bar on it. So second entry short worked. Another second entry short worked. Some nice trades there, actually. Nice second entry short. Triggered above this. Clearly worked beautifully. And we had one leg, two legs up. Another second entry short. Could have took on that engulfing. Worked beautifully. DCA rule. No, it doesn't affect me. I got in. I was already in there, and I just got in again there. You can add to a winning trade. You just can't add to a losing trade, I believe. And what I was in profit, and I think, well, you can add to it once. No, it doesn't affect me. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. I got into a second trade. I don't know. Does it? Not that I'm aware of. I don't often do it to me. I very rarely take one trade. When I'm in that trade, take another trade. In all fairness, I got in there on a limit order back here, actually, on the first one, and I got in on the second one down here, so I was already in profit when I took that one. Dollar cost averaging is adding to a losing trade. I'm pretty sure, Bram, you probably know, back me up. I'm pretty sure it's averaging to a losing trade. I was already in profit on that first trade because I remember it went down, it came back and bounced in. I took it on a limit order, the first trade, and then I took the second trade down here somewhere, just about at the bottom. So it doesn't affect me. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Excuse me a sec. Sorry about that. There is a second entry. Oh, damn it. My daughter just walked in, and there's a second entry short there. In all fairness, though, I probably wouldn't have taken that. What would I have done? No, I probably wouldn't have done. You can add to winning trades, but trades only add once to it. Yeah, okay. I only added to a winning trade. I was in profit by then. But I get why they do it. See, at some point, if you're a good trader and you're a consistent trader and you're a profitable trader, at some point, Apex are going to copy your trades and refer to it. Yeah, and I know some people do it that way, but I think from an Apex point of view, it's not maybe a great way. Now, the Alpine guy used to trade without a stop. I absolutely get why they don't copy that. You're not going to want to trade something because he's happy.
Order submitted.
Just give me a second. I'm just going to take a quick 100 here. Oh, crikey. I didn't see this. I wasn't focusing, in fact. Leg and a leg. I think we may be okay. I think I've jumped in a bit premature here. Hold on a second. I'll push up. There's going to be some stops below there for sure. Come on. Push, push, push. No, we should do. 2 legs back, leg and a leg. The trouble is, I would prefer my stop there, so I'm adding a little bit extra to that, just in case. I don't like doing that, but what I'll say is we've had a break from this. 2 legs back, 1 leg up, 2 legs up. Don't like the way we've had that. Oh, I've got a bad feel about this. On the ES, yeah, my daughter had just come in there, so leg. My daughter just walked in, so yeah, I missed it. Leg, that should get us there anyway. Made a new low, yeah. It kind of would have been nice to stay in that, but there we go. I got in a couple of ticks, well, a tick higher than I should really, that's where I should have been in, but I got in a tick higher. Come on, push up, push. Wow, this dropping that isn't it? Going to be some stops there, you would have thought so. I'm getting out of break even here, we're too close to the tops for me. I've got a bad feeling here. We've actually already made a new high. I didn't notice that. Let's get out for break even. See if it'll give me it. Yeah. I'm in trouble here, I think. Let's just get out. Oh, let's get out for break even here, I think. That's if it gives me. It's going to come below there, I think. I just hope it doesn't take me there. But we'll see. I had a feeling it was going to do that. Well, if I'm risking something, I might as well gain something. If it gets above here, it should get up there a bit. We'll see. Let's get out for break even. Excuse me a second.
Order filled.
Sorry. Sorry about that. Hey, Thomas, how you doing? No, I was just saying, we've had, it depends how you look at this, but we've had a channel down there with 2 legs back, and we've actually made a new high. I didn't notice, I didn't think we had, and we've tried a couple of more times. There's going to be longs here, and there's going to be longs there. And we've already made a high, and we've made a triple top, so this is likely to me, I think, when it starts to struggle to get up, it's got a habit of coming down and picking up this liquidity. So I took $100 loss rather than a $300 loss. That's fine. You can see it's half a trade, that is really. So it's just too risky otherwise. I'm not prepared to take that. I just have a feeling that's going to come dropping. If it gets below there, I made a good decision there. Save myself about $1,800. Now, it might not, but I used to have more of a gambling mentality where I used to think, oh, let's just leave it and see what happens, see if I get lucky. I don't want to even talk about luck, because this isn't luck. There's an element of luck on your side, but you shouldn't be trading with the word luck in your mind, really. Let's see how I get on. To me, it looked like it was going to flush down, so I took a... it's a shame, really, because it came up very close. I could have took a slightly smaller loss, but the way it pushed up, I thought I was at break even anyway, but I'm okay taking that. I'm quite happy about that, because that looks to me like it's about to flush. It may not, but it's irrelevant. It doesn't bother me if it rockets up, not in the slightest. So let's have a look. It's a, what's the word I'm looking for? Not an educated guess, a calculated decision. So, channel down, break, 2 pushes down to a new low. What's going on here? So, is there any type of I shouldn't do that. Is there any type of a bigger channel down there? A leg and a leg? It's possible. Yeah. Come on, come down. Prove me wrong. Prove me right. This is where I had my. In fact, did I bring it down to here? I got in there. I actually brung it down an extra few ticks to there, because to me that was the line in the sand. That one. Sometimes we had a leg up, a couple of legs back. Sometimes that holds, but anything leading up to it doesn't. So I think that'll go. But it's okay. It really doesn't bother me if it does. Because I got out with $107, $108 if you think about the phase, but that's you'll soon get that back. That's nothing. $300, that would have frustrated me a bit, but it may work. But the way it's struggling to go up, as we well know, when it's struggling to do that, sometimes it'll flush. And I think it's something I've never really done up until recently. You know, a lot of traders will say if the loss is going against you, your trade's going against you, get out of it. Get out of a losing trade. Stay in a winning trade. That to me was a losing trade. So up until recently, I'd have taken a risk and thought, oh, we'll just see how it goes. But if something's telling me it's likely to go down, I'll listen to my gut now and just go with it. If it means I take a small loss, I'm much better than take a big loss. Even if it moves up, I'm not. It really doesn't bother me anymore. It used to piss the hell out of me off, but it really doesn't anymore. I'm quite glad about that. What is going on here? Let's have a look. That's the trouble when I've only got half a screen here. It's I'm going to extend that a bit because I think I can. It depends how you see this, whether you think that's a break or not. It's a tough one, really. So we got a leg down and likely a leg down. Is this a triple test? Are we pushing up? God knows. Yeah, good decision that was. If it breaks below there, that's where I originally got in, but I put it back to there because a lot of the times it'll take that out but not touch that for some reason. Yeah, it was kind of a triple test there, but I don't like that bar. Let's have a look. So let's say this is probably at a break. Let's put that there, yeah. Let's say it's at a break, 2 pushes down to a new low. Hey Philip, how you doing, buddy? Or is this going down some more? Crikey. Leg down, 1, 2, 3. Is this a triple test? God, this is a tough one. So do we call this the bottom then? Now, is this going to drop or is it going to continue on up? Tough one. Yeah, let's get rid of that for now. Right, excuse me just a sec. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. 1 minute. Okay. Yeah, this may go up, but I think it's just risky in all fairness. It's just choppy. It could chop you up. You could go along there. It may shoot down. So, anyway. Not sure about that. Trouble is, we could sort of level off here. Yeah, this CR's getting choppy as hell now, and it's dangerous. This glad I got out actually. It's choppy as hell. I mean, when I first looked at this chart, it looked amazing, but look at it now, it's bloody awful. Trouble is, we could have a leg, 2 legs. We could have a triple test along here. The trouble is, I'd expect one of them to come down below this line if we do get a triple test. I find it pretty difficult today. Yeah, it is really. It's hard to know what to do for the best, really. Is this a bigger channel or is it just too... I don't know, is this thing going up? Sometimes it'll have a couple of legs, trick you into going long and then come back down, and then we'll end up having a bigger channel. So it's just hard to say at the moment. It could be a bigger channel down, but it may not be. So that would have got me out break even eventually, which is fine. I'm all right with that because it was a tick off technically stopping me out anyway. So the trouble is, you never, when you make a decision like that, you never quite know which way it's going to go. So I think sometimes you're better off to make an executive decision and just say, I'm going to do this. And the fact that it's pushed out really doesn't bother me, because when it does go sideways like that, it really could go anywhere. And it could have quite easily stopped me out, and I'd rather give up $100 per account than lose 300. It's a calculated decision, so yeah, maybe a little bit slower today because it's Friday. If you got any traders that did take yesterday off, and obviously some would have done, maybe the institutional guys, maybe a lot of people are having an extra day and extending the weekend. Channel break to push up to a new high. In fact, after this break, there is 1, 2, 3. There is a triple test there. And there's going to be shorts down here for sure, so I don't actually think that's a bad short. Let's see.
Order submitted.
See how it finishes. Nah, bar's enough.
Order
I'm
cancelled.
not even really convinced that's a... we got a channel here. I don't. There's nothing larger there. Nah. Bar wasn't brilliant. It was quite, you know, semi-bearish, but nowhere near bearish enough to think about a triple test. But what I will say, there'll be some longs in there, quite likely there and there as well. So if it was bearish enough, it may just decide to flush down below this. But as soon as we manage to push above there, it's dropped again. Yeah, it did work. It just wasn't quite bearish enough for me. I'll be surprised if it gets below there, it'll get below there for sure. Yeah, it has done. So that was a shame. It was a little bit more bearish because I'd have had a go at that and we'd stop on that line. So although I'd have got out for break even, I wouldn't have got my point. So it was I'm okay doing that. So it's clearly struggling to get up. I'm only surprised it actually broke above this before it eventually dropped. So it was a shame that wasn't a bit more bearish because then I would have had a go at that as a triple test. We're clearly struggling to get up. We've tried 3 times, well 4 if you count the first one, but that one with a secondary 1, we went up a second time, and a third time we struggled to get up. We managed to get above there, but then it dropped again. It's just a shame. It just wasn't quite bearish enough, otherwise I'd have had a go. 2 legs back, pushed up, made a new high. We've had a pull back, made 2 attempts to go higher and then down. So, oh dear me. Excuse me. Yeah, so it was a good decision to get out of that, really. It's clearly going nowhere. It's kind of a lower high there. Depends how you draw that. Might be a bit risky that though. Could be slightly wider. I don't know. Not sure about that. I think this is just more ranging, I think, at the moment. Let's get rid of this, clean up a bit. Yeah, just in case anybody doesn't know, this new offer, 80% off on 1 day to pass. It's the normal 80% off on the 25, 50, 75 and 100k accounts. But the 150, the 250 and the 300 are all on offer for $40 for the eval. And if you pass them, you only pay $85 for your lifetime fee. Now, they did that last month with just the 250, I think it was. And it seemed quite popular, but they're doing it with a 150, 250. So if anybody is interested, it's a good lifetime fee, because once you start getting up those, I think I'm pretty sure the 300,000 one is over $350 normally for the lifetime fee. So if anybody does want larger ones, it's kind of not a bad offer. So my code's up there, UKFT. If you use it or you have used it, it's much appreciated. But it's there if you want it. There is a lower high there. There's probably going to be some long strap there. Trouble is it going to trigger below there and push up for a higher low, or is it going to come down and stop out that bar there? It's so hard to know what to do there. So the simple answer is just to stay out of it, I think. Okay, channel up here on the NQ, we've had a break, new high, try to go one strike twice. There's a failure there. Let's see.
Order submitted.
I would think this would be likely to get down to that EMA. Let's have a little look. Let's have see how it ends up. If I took that bullish bar, though, I'd expect to lose that. Let's see how this finishes, but it is a failure. Trouble is, how far is it going to go? Don't come down much more, otherwise I've got nothing left.
Order filled.
I'm just going to get in here early. I made a mistake there. Let's get out of this. It is a failure, but it's popped back. I kind of jumped in, but that's the thing. That's why I'm kind of getting used to trading this, because it's got a habit of turning really quickly. Let's put that there. It's got a habit of turning really quickly, this has. It's going to take me out of this. going on here? Hmm. Might get out for a bit here. No, let's get out shortly.
Target filled.
Yeah, okay. A little bit. I got a little bit there, not much.
Order submitted.
Okay, failure. So channel break, new high, try it once, try it twice. Hmm. I don't bloody know.
Target filled.
Okay, what was that? 100. Near enough. I'm just stressing. That's all. Yeah, since I'm taking these larger accounts, what are we up today? Okay, we're up a bit. We're up a few $100. Let me have a look at this. Try it once, try it twice. It's probably going to come down, but I'm not sure what I'm seeing here. I don't know whether we're bouncing off in. It's going to try and retest and then push up, kind of like two legs and push up. If we get below there, we're okay, which we probably will. But
Order submitted.
no, I don't like that.
Order cancelled.
So you've had a channel with a break. I find it hard to read today. I like the setup. It is a failure. I like the way that there's bars bouncing off here, so there may even be some longs that may buy that. I don't know, but I think it's probably going to come down. If it gets down past this, it may retest this, but I'm just feeling edgy, I am.
Order submitted. Order cancelled.
We have tried multiple times. I like the way we're testing the underside of this. We've had a break. We've made multiple attempts to push higher, haven't we? Let me just check. There's nothing larger that I might be missing there. It's always possible we could bounce and push up there. That is possible. So this is a little bit hard to read here. So we've got a few touches there, a touch there and a touch there. So whether it's that or not, I don't know. But we're finding some resistance there. So I'm glad I got out of that. What did that go down for? Tick below there. So you'd have got a 1.5 out of it at a push. I got a point out of it, so it wasn't much more than the scalp. I mean, it may continue more down, but who knows? I'm just not a fan of when it pulls back. If this is coming down, there could be a triple test there. Strange, you know, I got 117 on some of them, 92 on that, and 52 on the... Oh, sorry, that 69 is completely different. I'm trading that on its own. Sorry, my mistake. So 1, 2, 3. What's happened there? 62, where's that from? 62. Oh, I traded that yesterday. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 accounts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry, 10 accounts. That's fine. That one I'm trading on its own. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the CL. Yeah, that CL's stacking up a bit. It could go up, it could go down. It's hard to say, really. It's sort of, at first glance like this, it's given the impression that it may come down, but when you zoom out, we've clearly got, it looks like we've gone up 2 legs back, pushed up sideways, had a drop out at the bottom. It's holding on there, so that looks to me like it could push up. So zooming out sometimes is and we're clearly doing this, aren't we? So sit tight there, I think. Just sit and watch this. It's just too choppy to get in. I'm already down $100 on here anyway. See, there is a failure. That bar's a failure. And this came down quick, but didn't break below it. But although it's a failure, it's clearly congested. So it really could do either or here. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, just look, Taylor took that one there. My daughter just walked in the room with that second entry short. It is kind of a little bit sideways, but if it's even if it is a little bit rangy, you're still shorted at the top with a second entry short, so you'd probably expect that to at least get down the bottom, which it did and some. So depends how you got that. I originally had it like this, but then it just. How do you read that? Well, if it's an overshoot, it could be. So, it's not very readable, that is it? And if it is, it's an overshoot, so it could come down. And we went 1, 2, 3, 3 attempts to go higher. We came down, had a second entry short. Yeah, I suppose it kind of makes sense. I did look at it, but it had already started moving before somebody mentioned it. My daughter's off. So she just came in the room just as I was, well, sort of looking at this. Possible second entry short there. Are we pushing our luck going short here at the moment? Or is there a bigger channel? See if it travels that long there. This is looking a bit more appealing. It's clearly working up there, but it's struggling to get above that EMA. It's just not very strong, so I'm just going to sit tight here. What trade did I do here? I can't even remember now. Oh, that one. Was it that one? Yeah, it was. For 1.25, I think it was. Got a bit lucky there, I think. So it's a failed second entry long, 1.25 plus 1.25 points. I think it was that one I got in, wasn't it? Yeah. It's that one, I think. I got out of it for minus $100, so that's 5 ticks, isn't it? I got on that a little bit too keen there, but that looked like a correction. A bit too keen there. I don't often just click the buy button, but I saw it and didn't want to miss it. So it was a second entry long, stroke higher low. And it was minus 5 ticks, wasn't it? Yeah. I don't even know what I did there. It's hard to tell, really. I'm going to have to work out how to do the points earlier properly. Still struggling here, look. Now, surely that's a triple test. Surely. Push down 1, 2. Christ on a bike! What the bloody hell happened there? There must be some news here. There must be. That's got to be news, surely. What I will say, there'll be a lot of traders trapped there, but surely that's got to be news, isn't it? Hey, good job I didn't take that. Good job I didn't take that triple test short. I'd have been screwed. Right, what time is it? It's 4 o'clock. There's got to have been some news. Let me have a look. Bloody hell. I think I need new underwear. Let me have a look. That's got to be news. CL inventory. Oh, what day is it? It's Tuesday, isn't it? Yeah. Crude oil inventory. It's Tuesday, isn't it? Is it Tuesday? It is Tuesday. I can't see any news on. Oh, what am I on about? Tuesday. It's bloody Thursday, isn't it? Sorry, my mistake. Crude oil inventories. Yeah, it's only got it down as. It's not down as what you consider high impact. Let's have a look. But I'm just going to have to be aware of any type of news really on oil because I'm so new to trading it. It's a good job I didn't go short. It's clearly doing. I don't like what it's doing anyway, but it's done what it's supposed to do. At a break and a push up, but I don't like what it's doing. It's clearly choppy. So in all honesty, the best thing to do is to stay out. It didn't look too bad then, but as it's continued chopping all this, it is just risky. You never know quite what's going to happen. So let's have a look. So yeah, it's got crude oil inventory down there. It's certainly down as a high impact news. As down as not a high impact news. Impacts in red. Orange is more medium impact, so it's low impact news. But, you know, is it a massive move? It's not a huge move compared to the other bars, but it's enough to take you out of a trade. What is it? That bar there is about maybe 1 3/4 times bigger, so it's not huge in the grand scheme of things, but it certainly caught me out. So I'll have to pay attention to that in the future. So every day now I'm going to have to check on oil. Yeah, Thursday. I sort of thought it was Tuesday for some odd reason. I don't know what's going on with me today. I feel a bit out of sorts in all honesty. And that probably shows in me trading. That was a little bit risky. It does look like it's got a bearish imbalance to it, so it is a failure. We had a channel there with a break in a new high, trying to go once, twice, twice, bearish bar. It did come down for 1.5, but it seemed to bounce on the open, so I'm kind of glad I got out of that quick. Some days we have days where we feel a little bit out of sorts and maybe a bit in. I don't think patience is the word, but just mind you, having said that, my sleep hasn't been brilliant the last couple of days. I was watching the cricket, which started at 1:30 in the morning, so I didn't go to bed till 4, and I was up at 8 for these, so I've probably had about 4 hours sleep the last 2 nights, so that probably doesn't help. Okay, so I am going to take a quick break, folks, stretch my legs, get some coffee in me, so I'm just going to pop that on the screen, and I'm going to leave you to it for about 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, we're back. Let's get rid of that. Okay. What's going on? Yeah, I sort of had a feeling that there was some kind of I mean, really, we have touched here 3 times, but we've not really been down. Well, we've been down to here, but I had a feeling we were going to continue down. We got a channel with a break new high, 2 pushes up, which kind of plays the channel out, and we bounced off here, came down, tried to go once, tried twice, failure, maybe trapping a few longs. This to me looks like it was going to push down, but it went for a 1.75, so you'd have squeezed a 1.5. Ionis, how you doing? Will you be watching your country for the Euros? Yeah, I probably would. I'm more of a cricket man, to be honest with you. And we're playing in the Cricket World Cup at the moment in the West Indies, and partly in, I think, New York as well. You know, a stadium in New York where they've been playing cricket. In fact, USA are doing pretty well. They're through to the last 8. But yes, I will do. I don't follow football like I used to. I used to be a Leeds United fan, you know, sort of 10, 15 years ago. But I had a bad experience at football. Where I live, my sort of local team, I was driving out of a road where I live. This was about maybe 10, 12 years ago. And there was a woman with her son. Her son was about 6 or 7 years old. And these football fans came over shouting, swearing, throwing bottles, fighting with the police. And I just saw this little lad and his mum, and this little lad looked scared to death. And it just shocked me. You know what I mean? I know what football supporters can be like. I mean, sometimes, you know, certain fans, they go over to Europe and they're wrecking restaurants and they're throwing chairs and fighting. It just, when you see enough of it, it puts you off. And I started watching cricket. I don't suppose a lot of you US guys know what cricket is so much. Having said that, the US are in the World Cricket Cup at the moment. So perhaps some of you may. But, you know, last cricket game I went to was Edgbaston in the West Midlands near Birmingham last summer. And there was 25,000 people there and not one single policeman. Not one. Loads of stewards, but not one single policeman. You can sit there in mixed crowds. You can sit there and drink beer all day. They have them in plastic cups. You can take your own. It's such a better experience. It lasts throughout the day. You get test matches, which last for 5 days. The atmosphere is just so much better, but it just seems to be, in football, I don't know what it is. It just seems to attract a lot of violence, and some of the violence is unreal, but just the look on that kid's face, that 6-year-old or 6-year-oldish face, and when the lads coming back, they didn't even tone it down. I dare say a lot of them will be parents. They didn't even, because, you know, sometimes you get to pubs and you get some young lads and they're a bit leery and a bit loud, but as soon as there's a family there, they behave themselves, you know, they apologise and that, but this just put me off. It stuck in my head for weeks, that didn't I? It put me off football. So, but now I follow cricket now. I do. Not so much football. I will watch the World Cup, but I don't know. Cricket's it's a very technical game, cricket. But you know, there's some amazing players in cricket. In fact, my wife bought me a print of a sort of famous cricketer called Shane Warne, who recently, a couple of years ago, he died. Had a massive heart attack. I think at about 52ish. And he was just an absolute legend in cricket. But I never really watched it much as a kid, but my parents and grandparents sort of always had it on. But But yeah, that was the print. My wife bought me that. Where is it? My wife bought me that and a frame of print. That was his name, Shane Warne. Died at 52 years old. An absolute legend. Dated Elizabeth. I think he dated Elizabeth Hurley for a few years, but that was the last ever game he played, and it was just an image that sort of went around the world. But yeah, my wife got it and printed it out for me and put it in a frame. Beautiful picture, but an absolute legend, a real nice guy. What you see is what you get. But yeah, I just went off football. But yeah, I believe America are doing really well in the cricket. No, it's not a typical sport that you would associate with the US, because I know I've spoken to a few US guys and they don't RIP. Yeah, I mean, Shane Warne his name was, but an absolute really, really nice guy. What you see is what you get. There's no bells and whistles with him. But he just had a massive heart attack, liked his food, liked the smoke, liked the beer. Was over in Thailand actually losing a bit of weight and getting a bit fitter, and it just it just goes to show you, it doesn't matter who you are or how much money or wealth or fame you've got, when your time's up, you know. But I love cricket. I never used to watch it much as a kid, but I know it was always on in the house, and my granddad always used to watch it. I never did, and when I watch it now, I kind of think about him a bit. So it is a nice game. And cricket fans, especially, I love seeing the Indian cricket fans. They're just absolutely crazy passionate. Indian fans, they absolutely love the sport. And on Australians as well, they're a sort of a race in themselves. They're absolute cricket fanatics. But yeah, I saw that and I went. It's amazing. Sometimes you see these things in life and they almost sort of put you off. But yeah, I don't even know what time. What time is it on tonight? Is it on? Did I read it was on about 4:30? Or is it earlier than that? But yeah, US are doing really well in the cricket. "45 minutes from now." Oh yeah, I did hear it was on a bit earlier. When are we on? Oh yeah, 5 o'clock. England and Denmark. Yeah, I do tend to watch things like the World Cup and the Euros and that, but it's just, I don't know. I just, when you see some things sometimes and it sticks in your head, doesn't it? So I don't know what we're doing here, folks. Anybody have any ideas? Is this just 2 legs up and we're doing something else? I wonder if there's a spike in a channel there. The bottoms would fit as well. It's possible, but I think it's just as much sideways as it... Sorry about that. It's just as much sideways as it is down. So it's a bit wide in a short space of time, that. So I'm just going to remove that for a bit. So I can consider it. It's a failure. I thought after this it was, but I got a bit lucky there. I was tempted to put my order below there because you can almost guarantee there's going to be some longs there. But then I had this sort of feeling we've bounced 3 times and pushed up, and a lot of times we will make an attempt to come back again and then push up. And I kind of remembered that when this was sort of coming down. So it was good for a scalp, but no more. We'd have got 0.5 at a push, but that one, yeah, my daughter came in just as that one. Not only that, it was a bloody small risk, wasn't it? What's that? 0.75 with a tick above and below, if that. Wow. It's not even that. That's a 1.25, that is. So that's a no-brainer, that is. That's typically about half of what it usually is. If you look at the next bar, that's double the size. So nice second entry short. You kind of, you can kind of say it's topping off there somewhere around about, isn't it? So clearly 2 legs up. You've got a bearish bar. It didn't break above there. So yeah, tiny risk. At least double your money just to the bottoms. Trouble is, when you see that, sometimes you can see what a good trade it was by how quick traders jumped on it and it pushed down. But if you miss that one, it's gone. If I remember rightly, I saw it pushing down, and then somebody said, was I not interested in it? This, I got to say, the first time I looked at this CL chart, I thought, wow, that is not sideways, it's not choppy, it's flowing beautifully. And ever since we rolled over to I think it was the 7th, from the 6th to the 7th, it looks awful. Having said that, I have taken about 3 times the amount of trades, but I think today looks typically just naff. So maybe it's because there was that news today, but I am going to have to make a point of, see, I'm used to how this works and the NQ. The news here tells me everything I need to know, and it's never steered me wrong. But I could have got severely chopped up there. The trouble is, if you get in with the news and it goes against you, even though you've got a 2-point stop, sometimes it can take you out for 3 or 4 if it moves that quick. I accidentally traded through the news once on an evaluation, and I had about a 2-point stop, and in the end it ended up being a 5 points I got taken out for. So if you've got 10 accounts on that, it can be quite costly. So I'm kind of glad that's happened, actually. It's made me be a little bit cautious from now on. Yeah, it's hard to know what the hell's going on here, really. It's quite hard to read today. So have we got a leg down with 1-2 attempts? Okay, this may be 2 legs down, 1-2 attempt, maybe a penguin style trade, this. Down to the bottoms. So maybe it is a leg, 2 attempts to go high. Say a leg and a leg, a leg and a leg. It's definitely got a bearish feel to it, hasn't it? It would be more so if we got below this level, which we could do, actually, if we can get a second entry there. I don't think it's a range. That just doesn't work for me. No, not really. Yeah, it's hard to read this this CL today, I got to say. Excuse me a sec. Okay, just excuse me for a second. Sorry about the scream. It was a massive spider. Marjo, you need a microscope to see the damn thing. My daughter hates spiders. As small as they are, it can make an ant look big. Let's have a look. What is going on here? So NQ, leg and a leg. Sorry, CL, leg and a leg. Got no idea what's going on here. We're coming down here. We've had a... got to be something larger there, isn't there, really? No, I don't like any of this. Let's just leave that there. Break. 2 push up tonight and up again. We've got to get a couple of legs up there. Second entry short, maybe. We're definitely, really, sort of slowly flipping down, aren't we? It's definitely got a bearish feel. If it wasn't for the exception of that. But if we can get below there, then there's probably going to be some sort of a larger channel there, maybe there. I think I put that earlier, didn't I? It kind of works, doesn't it? I mean, the fact that it's bouncing 3 times there could just mean it's a bottom of a channel. But and not only that, if you look at it, that closed up here, that closed there, and that closed there. So it's kind of still following down with this kind of feel. So maybe it is something like that. It's a bit hard to tell. But I'm just not just going to put it there just at the moment because I'd rather concentrate on just the smaller stuff. Sometimes if you're putting those big things, it messes with your head a bit. But volume is, considering it's moving and we're not really, you know, chopping sideways, considering it's moving, there is low volume. So the only thing I can think of is traders will have just extended the holiday from yesterday, just took an extra day, and you've got 4 days off then. So that's what I would suggest. Nothing here really. Way too far from the EMA. There's a problem with that, is there could be a small break. Touch, touch, touch. That red bar touch. So there could be a little break there and a new low and then a retest. And not only that, where I took that earlier, it's bouncing off that same part, which is the open, isn't it? Yeah, it's where the open was. We've had 3 bounces there. 1, 2 bounces there. So that's where I originally got out. So I would suggest there may even be a little overshoot there. Bounce, 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 which kinda would make sense. And with that NQ, looks like there's a little bit of an overshoot. 2 pushes down to a new low, and we've also got a triple bottom here. So that's interesting. Triple bottom there with a break. So that technically is played out. Is this some sort of a larger channel? Let's have a look. How does the top look? It doesn't look too bad. So there is a possibility, leg and another leg. There is a possibility we could get back up here. It's just hard to say at the moment. So that to me looks like an overshoot. Now you may have your channel like that, in which case we've had a break and a match in low. So you could even have it like that. Either way, I'm not in the market for a trade just at the moment. No, I'm not a fan of that. Yeah. Leg down. There is a possibility we could come down and break these lows. You've got to be real careful though. It's sideways choppy here. And it seems to be struggling to get through there. So I'm not in a hurry to go short here anyway, because it could trap you and bounce and push off. See, technically we made a new low there, Biotech, and we bounced below, but we have not closed below there for the last hour. Bounce, bounce, pushed up and bounced, pushed a bit higher, came back and bounced a bunch of times, so it could go off in that direction. I'm still not sure about that channel, so what I'm going to do is just kill the colour. So it's an area of interest, but nothing to necessarily follow. See, looking at this on the NQ, we've got a channel to break in a new low. We're bouncing along there, so there's kind of even some sideways stuff, so we could break out of it and come back down, but I really got no idea at the moment. It's just one of them days. What the hell did you do? No. You could trap your short here. I really don't know. I don't even think there's a larger channel that we can sort of... it could be or it could not be. It's a toss of the coin, really, isn't it? But I'd say a short here would probably be risky unless we break above this and come down bearish. 1, 2, 3, maybe a triple test. Let me just see if I can adjust this a little bit so it kind of fits. It's just too much, that. We have had a new low and we've bounced twice more and pushed up strong, so as much as it's kind of giving you signals that it may push down, I think that possibly tells you all you need to know. We've clearly bounced 3 times. You know, they say people, traders will try and do things twice. We've had a break in a new low and try to push it down a further couple of times, and it's having none of it, and all of a sudden big strong move. So there may be some shorts in there, so I think above there is probably likely to happen, but sometimes we'll get 2 legs and then it'll come down again. But it's hard to say, really. It could go either, it could come down bearish. Trouble is with this, I got into a trade earlier, and just as it was about to finish, it looked really bearish, and all of a sudden it changed in the last half a second. And that's the thing with this NQ, you've really got to wait till that last second. I was a bit cheeky because I was only trading it one account, tried to get in a bit early because it looked to me like it was pushing down. Now, granted, it did, but the bar went from being bearish to sort of 3/4 bullish within the space of about a quarter of a second. So that's the thing with this. It does move really quick. So 1 minute it can look like something completely different, which is why really I'm only sort of getting used to it with one account and one contract. So just I want to have a bit of skin in the game. So I think if you trade on a sim, you never trade it the same as you do with real money. You'll take more risks. You'll try more things when really that's not what I want to be doing. So we got a leg down. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of support here. Someone just mentioned on the Discord second entry short possibly, but after all this, I couldn't bring myself to, because technically we've had a break and a new low buy tick there. It's definitely hard to read day to day. You'd think because it was moving quite freely that it would be a bit easier to read, and it's kind of got a sort of a downward bias to it, but it's still tricky to read, isn't it? Starting to look at the CL chart, but my chart won't move. Yes, fine. Must be something in my settings. Have you put it to the 8th, bud? Have you? Because I didn't realise the CL rolls over once a month, but it's at the 8th now. So the reason I'm asking that is because you may put it the 9th, the same as the NQ and the ES. It was only a few weeks ago, or a couple of weeks ago, I realised it rolled over every month. So just if you've got it at the 9th, that makes sense why you're not seeing anything. So just switch it to the 9th, the 8th, CL08-24, hopefully. Yeah, that I thought you might have done. It makes sense because I didn't know, and if you've not traded it, you're not going to know. So that might be why you're seeing nothing, mate. You're going to have to wait about 3 weeks before you start to see any bars. But if you never know, you've never traded it, you don't know, do you? As I say, it was only 2 weeks ago. I didn't have a clue. All of a sudden, I got the rollover pop-up come up, and I thought, what's going on? So yeah, it does roll over. You're welcome, mate. It does roll over once a month, the CL. So that's the thing about Ninja Trader. It usually gives you a prompt, I think. So yeah. But what I'll say is I put my picture of a trade on a Facebook group a few days ago. I'll show you. So you may have seen it anyway, but yeah, it was a trade I took, very clear. That was it there. So I put that on the Facebook group a couple of days ago. And nice channel. We'd sort of played out and cut the pushes up to a new high, clearly come down, clearly reversing, 2 legs up, and then a drop, followed by a little bit of sideways. I treated it as a second entry, lower high. It was actually a second entry short, lower high, 1, 2, 3, and a triple test. Worked beautifully. So, and getting some good comments as well. A lot of people saying, someone said, where was it? I can't remember. So one of the questions, someone said the ES at the moment is just trash. And it kind of is, really. There's just not a lot of setups. And what I will say is about this to me feels untrustworthy. I don't feel like I can trust the setups here. So I don't know. It feels like a bad relationship. So does anybody know what I mean when I say I don't feel like I can trust it? Some of these setups, they're almost goad you into it. You feel like you're being literally set up, don't you? Whereas this does seem to work better, and even the NQ. So I'm going to continue to do things the way it is for a few more weeks, and then what I might do, I might either bring the NQ as my main chart or the CL as my main chart, and put the ES to the side, to the side, either one of these sides as like a secondary chart. But it does feel like I can't trust it. It feels like it's constantly trying to set traders up, as opposed to just sort of working, with buyers and sellers. Okay, excuse me a sec. I've just got to make a quick phone call. 2 minutes. Okay, it's all right. I'm on hold at the moment. I'm just on a phone call. My only slight concern with there is we may have had a small break, and this kind of looks bottoming. The EMA is a bit flat, and that's a bit above the EMA, so I'd have waited for a lower high personally, because it's a bit hard to read at the moment, and I'm a bit sort of confused exactly as what's going on. So I would have left that at the moment because we could have had a break and a new low by one tick there. So that's why I'd have left it personally. Would be under the EMA though. But that one is closed a tick or so above the EMA, do you know what I mean? It is a second entry short and it did work, but I'd be just curious about, just a bit unsure, because if you go from here to that next swing, there could be a little bit of a break. So, and we've got like almost like a quadruple bottom there, so you don't know whether we're going to trap some shorts and push up. This picture's a bit unclear to me, and it would just make me a bit uneasy. But once it's happened, you can clearly see it worked okay. But just the fact that it's closed above that EMA would just make me cautious there. I know sometimes some of these things seem petty, but you know, after a while, I think you realise that trying to pick all these little decisions up, you make them in a few seconds. I don't tend to count anything at the moment. I just tend to look, and if it looks right, I take it. And that just doesn't jump at me. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just going to go back onto mute a minute because I'm just waiting for the remainder of this call. The people are on hold. But what I mean is, we all see this very differently, so it may look good to you. So my opinion might not necessarily be the best. Do you know what I mean? So anybody else? What anybody else think of that on the 2000 tick chart, the NQs? Anybody else consider that short, second entry short? I'll leave the 2000 tick chart there until I finish this call. I'll just put it back onto mute. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, see on that the 1,000 tick chart, it's hard to say, see, because I think what you'll find is through experience, when you get taken out so many times by a certain setup, you'll start to get curious. It's that constant manipulation of the brain and the picture you're seeing. And to me, if we touch here and we kind of swung back over to the side and touched there, and kind of, it looked to me like it went out there and made a new low. And obviously, a lot of the times we like to make 2 pushes to a new low. We pull back up and we actually made a second push down to a new low there. So thinking about a short, for me, I'm just thinking curious, be cautious. Now, it doesn't mean it can't come down. You know, even the crappiest trades in the world, you could close your eyes and still make money out of it. So it doesn't mean it wasn't right. You know, it doesn't mean it was necessarily bad. And it depends how you look at things as well. There's so many different ways to trade, see. So, and I sometimes just assume that, you know, everyone trades pats when not everybody does. So, but it's one of those things, isn't it? But I think we all get our slightly different. I think we're all basically on the same page. Sometimes we might just get a slightly different read. You know, if you judge every setup on a scale of 1 to 10, we'll all be in the same ballpark. But some people might take. Now, if you watch, who's the trader? Bartfly. If you watch Bartfly trade, he takes every trade he sees. Second entries, even if it's a little bit too far away from the you know, if we had a second entry here, say maybe that second entry, he would probably take that. But for me, it's a little bit too far, and he might win 70% of his trades, which is more than likely profitable. So some people do it like that. So I don't know what that is on that actually in the grand scheme of things, but some people don't mind taking the losses. They're playing the numbers game. Now, if you're playing the numbers game, as long as you can take the losses, it works perfectly fine. There's no issues with it. I tend to want to go for those extra safe trades because I still feel uncomfortable taking trades. And I think that's okay. And if you look at another trader, if you look at Wilson, he takes a lot more losses than me, but we tend to, mind you, in fact, I think his accounts, he started his slightly after mine. His accounts are larger than mine at the moment, but he takes more losses, but he also takes more trades. So if you can put up with the losses and just play the numbers game, it's a perfectly valid way to make money, and a lot of traders will do that. You know, I know some currency traders, when I first learned, they're in 50% win rates, but if you're risking 1 to make 2, it's a profitable strategy. So we all have our slight different judgment when it comes to risk. It depends on the individual, really, you know, and your sort of read on it. But just because I do something a certain way doesn't mean it won't necessarily work for you. Do you know what I mean? So don't let what I say necessarily influence you. Just use what I say as another opinion. You know, a lot of you guys will say, I think we've got a channel from there. I'll try it. If I think it works, I'll leave it. If I don't like it, I'll get rid of it. So I think just use people like me and other traders you chit-chat to just as an extra pair of eyes, a second opinion. You know, because I've always been a believer, if you mix with certain people again and again, you'll learn from them, they'll learn from you. You'll learn a lot quicker. You know what I mean? So just because I say it wouldn't necessarily work for me, it will probably still work 70% of the time. So if you're going for 1 to 1, it's profitable. It's a tough one, really, isn't it? So I think now we have broken below theirs. It probably is a channel down there. We've got 3 touches, although it just looks like 2 legs down, 2 legs up, and 2 legs down. So it's a bit of a tough one there. That's how I trade 1 to 2. Yeah, win rate is up. Well, that's what I mean. See, people tend to think your win percentage is how you're rated as a trader. You couldn't be further from the truth. if you're risking one to make two, if you're winning half your trades, you're profitable. And that's all that counts. I know some people who risk one to make three, and probably a lot more. So there's so many different ways to trade, in hundreds and hundreds of different ways that people, all different wonderful ways that people try and take money out of the markets. And at the end of the day, no one's really better than the other, I suppose. Most of it is down to the individual, but there probably are some strategies that are very effective. But I would say the most effective strategies are the ones that the traders spent a lot of time understanding and perfecting them. Like Mac. Mac will win more trades than me. He will take more trades than me. Why? Because he's way more experienced than me. So, any half-decent strategy will make money if the trader behind it knows that strategy well and can read the market well. But I consider myself as just now really coming into the intermediate level. I'm not a beginner anymore. I've been trading a few, 3.5 years, but I would say now I'm getting into that level where I'm a bit more competent. I don't make as many rookie mistakes. My patience is much better. Finally, now from the last 3 months, I haven't blown an account. I haven't revenge traded. I've taken some dodgy trades sometimes, but that's part of that, comes with the territory. So I'm progressing and growing, and as long as you're doing that and you can put up with it, you're going to do it okay. It's not an easy job, but any job that you can make this sort of money, it's not going to be easy, is it? Otherwise, every man and his dog will be out there doing it. But I do love the fact, I love the hours, I got to say. I don't have to get up early in the mornings. I mean, it's a lot easier for me than you US guys, especially if you're living on the West Coast. You poor buggers are up at about 5:30 in the morning, aren't you, I think? 9, 8, 7, 6. You're about 6 o'clock, aren't you? So you guys start trading about 6:30. So, whereas in the UK, technically, I don't really open up a trade till after 2:30 in the afternoon. So I'm probably luckier than a lot of you. And then you got people like Rodian, poor people like Rodian from Australia that are starting to trade about 11 o'clock at night and later. So I'm kind of in the sweet spot, I think. Can you show the trade that didn't work out? Was it on the CL? Yeah, I can, yeah. That was it there. At the time, we never had any of that, see? So I was looking at this with 2 legs back, a push up. A lot of times we'll push up, go sideways and push up again. Now, for some reason, I jumped in this a little bit too... It happens sometimes. I was a little bit too trigger happy to get into this. But we had that... Straight away, I saw this channel with this 2 legs back, a push up and a bit of sideways. And a lot of time it'll go leg, couple of pulls back to there and up again. But then, unfortunately... it actually went up a bit, but I had my profit up here and it bounced a 3rd time, which is never good news. So I had to sit through this then. And in the end, I decided to get out with $100 loss per account, because whenever it's struggling to get up and you're trapping long, sometimes it'll have that flush down, and it did it there. I was in this trade, see, and it starts to go up, and it could have just gone bump bump and I'd have been out, but sometimes it'll just decide to go sideways, and then it seemed like it was a bigger channel. And obviously, as channels go up, they go sideways, they meet resistance here and go up again. The kind of channels go up in sort of steps, don't they? Some a bit more obvious than other, but when it started to go a bit sideways, and I could see there was some traders trapped in here, and whenever it goes slow, and I've said this 100 times. I've been in trades before like this. Whenever it goes slow like that, often it just comes down, takes out any stops there. So my risk down here, because it was quite a big bar, I actually put it here, was about $340 per account, and I got out for $100 loss. So I consider that a result. I could have got out at break even, but I wasn't prepared to risk it anymore after we went sideways. I think if you decide to make a decision, take it and stick with it. So... I mean, a typical trade on here, 10 ticks, profit is $200. I lost $100, so it's the equivalent of half a trade. So it would have been a lot more uncomfortable losing $340. That's over 3 times the amount. So I think if you think you may have made a mistake, sometimes you're better getting out of it. But as I mentioned, I was in a way more of a gambling mentality in the past. Now I tend to not mess around with me accounts. I value them. So I made a decision just to get out with a loss. And I'm glad I did in the end, because it did decide to push down, although I could have got out for break even, but I just didn't want any more of that. It's so slow. And then I didn't realise we had news. So, I mean, I was out. My stop would have been out anyway. So I saved myself 9 lots of $240. So that was a result. But I got to say, losing the money, it really doesn't affect me in the slightest now, which is such an odd feeling. Because in the past, I'd have had that, burning face feeling flushed, that sort of blood rush through your body. I used to have all that sort of stuff, and when I lose a trade now, I don't get it at all. I don't like to lose a trade, but it doesn't make me feel I don't panic anymore. And the only way I've got around that is just with time, really. You slowly get used to it. I can walk away down now with a loss. I can't tell you how many times you guys said to me in the past, walk away, live to fight another day, and the second the stream stops, I'm revenge trading, and you really can't help it. It sort of takes over, and it's a scary feeling, because the next time you get 2 PA accounts, you're kidding yourself, and you're just going to, exactly what you're going to do with all the right intention in the world. Any of you smokers out there, it's very easy when you're smoking a cigarette to say I'm going to give up, but come a couple of hours goes by, it's a very different story. So once those emotions kick in, they just kind of take over you. And I think what most traders have, and just really you can't change it. And with time and being exposed to it every day, eventually, any type of scary or whatever experience, if you do it day in, day out, it'll eventually go. It'll start to calm down, and then I'm in control now. I'm quite happy to say I won't blow these accounts, because I'm in control, not the emotions. If I'd have panicked in that, I would not have got out that trade for 100. I would consider getting out for a loss as no way. But I took a tactical risk. The trade looked like it was going against me, and I've heard people say in the past, if it's a bad trade, get out as quick as you can. If it's a good trade, stay in as long. So, but I'd have never ever entertained losing or deciding to get out at a loss before. I'd have always stayed there till the last minute, and if it didn't go my way, I'd have moved my stop, and if my stop got hit, I would have finished the stream and revenge traded. But given enough time, you'll stop doing that. And then you'll be super protective over your accounts, and that's a nicer feeling, not having that horrible sickening feeling when you're uncontrollably jumping in and out of trades with 10 contracts trying to scrappily catch a point or a few ticks to get your money back. Is a horrible sickening feeling when I'd never won again. And touch wood, I haven't had it for 3 months now, and trading now for me is so much more relaxing. That all the scary stuff is gone, but it just takes time. So if you are going through that, just keep plugging away. Do the best you can and keep plugging away, and it will eventually start to go. So, channel or not, probably. We've had a break out of it. 2 pushes down to a new low and then another push. So, yeah, it's definitely a tricky day today. So, I had a loss and a win and another win or 2 on this. So, all in all, I'm up $300. But on a Friday, I don't really care either way. For me, it's just about playing the game, and the money will hopefully follow. I don't even really look at these lump sums anymore. I didn't even know I'd hit $1,000 on one of my accounts. You can't see it, can you? Some of the accounts have hardly barely started, but I didn't even realise I'd hit $1,000 on one of the accounts. So, and my attitude to these accounts have changed. Now I'm no longer going to take all the money at $2,600. for me, I'd be throwing away a golden opportunity. If I take that money, chances are the accounts will go, and then I've got to start through it all over again. I'd rather just... I think my plan this time is to get to $3,500 for each account and then take a one-off payment of $500. And then when I get to 5,000 or 5,500, I'll take $1,000, and I'm going to per month from then on. So that's the plan, just to get up to a level where I can take a consistent amount off every month. Okay, there is a second entry short here, but I think there's 2 legs down, a retest, 2 legs down, a new low retest, another bounce. So this for me, I'm staying out of this. May work, but I don't like this. There's a lot of support there, so going short into that, for me anyway, is risky. It may push straight through it, and not only that, bar's a fair size. It may push straight through, but I think that's risky going short into all that. And look what's happening on the NQ. Big bearish bar. It's triggered and it's pushing up. Fortunately, that hasn't triggered, so I don't think you'd have been in there, but going short into that is just madness. Around the morning lows. Yeah, it did, mate, yeah. Everything's out. After these 2 legs, see if you got in there or whatever. 2 legs down and a couple of bounces. I mean, that could have quite easily, especially with the higher low pushed up, didn't it? But yeah, you do start to realise after a while where the market's like to go, because it does, price does move towards liquidity, doesn't it? I mean, if you look at things like Bookmap, that gives you a picture, but obviously you've got to take into consideration the guys that just, hit the buy and sell button. So that can, but a lot of the times you can see where these areas liquidity are, and if there's enough volume, it often goes down and clears it up, doesn't it? I mean, even there as well, 2 legs down, breaking the lows. They're there, so there's going to be some longs there. What did it do? Push right below there. So that cleared up that, and that cleared up that, and anybody's, stops at maybe even lower. So we're clearly, this to me looks like it's kind of bottoming. So what we have had as well is this channel, if you think it's a channel, 2 legs of correction, 2 legs down, and then a retest clearing out any extra stops. So we could end up moving up a bit now. I'm just going to get rid of this. I don't think we need it. Could still come down a bit more, I suppose. It's always possible. We could have, it could come out a little bit. There's always that possibility of something like that. A little bit of a break and then into another channel. That's always possible, but if it's going to do that, it's likely to continue sideways, so getting trades now I think is risky. Same principle with that. The CL went sideways and eventually pushed up, so this could go sideways and continue down for a second leg. Leg and a leg, and then sideways to here, maybe a pop out the top, touch this line. Fell, break out of a little range, so It's definitely a bit hard to read. Well, I say that, it's actually quite clear, but the picture's quite clear now. We got clearly 2 legs down, a little bit of sideways, 2 legs of correction, and then 2 legs down. So it's quite clear, but it's still a bit hard to read because I don't know. It's just a little harder to read, although these are making sense. I'm just going to get rid of that for now anyway. But yeah, we could go sideways and pick up something larger. I don't think we can do something like that. See, that is possible as well. Could be a leg. 2 legs of correction and a leg. Which could take us down to this area again. Oh, hello. Oh, that's risky. I think Taylor's in a short here. His bar looks a bit better on his though, but going short into that. See what happens when this triggers. Ooh, I don't like that bar. Come on, push down. Yeah, I think that's risky going short. It may work, but that's making me nervous. Oh, good on him. Yeah, he's using a different chart. It looks a bit better on his. It looks naff on here, but that clearly pushed through some. There's like a triple bottom there, so there's going to be some longs there, I would have thought. And that's just busted straight through it, so good on him. time. Coming up 3 hours. So, okay, clearly pushing down now. So I would say leg and a leg, and then a correction, and then we could end up having something slightly larger. A correction. Yeah, I was looking at this CL for a triple test. 1, 2. We got clearly sort of a couple of legs, a little bit of side was 1, 2, 3, but the bar was naff. But that would have interested me there. But unfortunately, the bar just wasn't right. This thing's dropping now, isn't it? Here we go. So that measured move's played out. Leg and a leg. Now let's see if we have a bit of an overshoot as well, maybe. So let's see if we have a correction here, and then some more down. So if we do that, that would take us down to these levels. Look at that. So just get that out of the way. So a leg down to there. And a leg down to here, right down to these lows. So big leg in the way of two small legs. So that's a bit of an overshoot, so I expect a bit of a pullback. Or is this thing just going to tank? Okay, folks, I think I am done for the day. So, tricky day. I definitely felt tired today. Got a bit too excited on that CL. But that's okay. It happens sometimes. So I'm up a few $100 all in all. Let's have a look. Yeah. $313 total. I won a little bit more than I lost. So that's all right, actually. That's all right. It happens sometimes, doesn't it? I've got to say, I'm knackered. I'm going to go and have a couple of whiskies in the garden, I think. Right, folks, I'll be back tomorrow. It's Friday. So if you're carrying on trading, I really hope you get a nice setup. You deserve it, sitting through all this lot. So I'll be back tomorrow. So have a good evening, all right? Stay safe. We'll chat again tomorrow. And hopefully Friday we may get some green. It's always nice to either be 0 or green on a Friday. Makes your weekend better. So have a great evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.